Chris, what is our third main topic today?
Our third topic today is all about Boba Fett. All right, this is from Inexpensive Bounty Hunter. Hey, John.
That's great.
Like you, I haven't been feeling the Book of Boba Fett show yet. I keep tuning in, though, because I have hope it'll find its flow and really pick up over the last 3 episodes. If you get to this Wednesday, what did you think of the 5th episode? Did it get the show back on track, or is it becoming clear that the show is destined to be a disappointment?
All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And by the way, since we are now on this episode, this topic of the show, I will let you guys know that we, unlike what we do on normal episodes, we are going to go into spoilers about episode 5, The Return of the Mandalorian. We are going to go into spoilers on this. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, or if you really, really care about knowing what happens, then now's a good time for you to check out. Thanks for joining us here today. And guys, I have also opened up the super chat feature. So if you want to start sending in questions and comments about that, you can start sending that in on any of the topics that we talked today. You can go ahead and do that. I will leave it open for a few minutes until we start to get more than we can possibly manage to address. Okay. Book of Boba Fett, episode 5. I agree. So far, I have not been thrilled with the series. Couple episodes that I liked, couple that I haven't. You know, we're still kind of on that. It's still anybody's game. Going into the final 3 episodes, it's like, hey, this show could still go either way for me. Like, I don't think it's been terrible as some people have been saying it is, but I think disappointing, sure. But it's still right there that it can turn. If you have a solid final 3 episodes, this could be great. And then comes the episode titled The Return of the Mandalorian. Now, of course, we all knew at the end of episode 4, when the final, which is, I'm going to hire us some muscle. And then, woo, 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 woo. Then they play the Mandalorian music. Okay, so we all knew the Mandalorian. We all knew that Din was coming back in the next episode. Great. This episode, I have no qualms saying, is easily the best episode of the series so far. And here's the thing, it ain't just because Mandalorian is there. Too many times we fans, I include myself in this, it's like, this thing's crap. Oh, quick cameo of somebody I know. Ooh, now this show is great. That's not the case here. This was a great episode. This had the tone, and it is not a coincidence that it was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
It is not a coincidence. Her episodes that she directed in Mandalorian were both fantastic. What she did here, I think, was magnificent. And you could feel it. You could feel it was her directing this thing. Like everything from what could have been a silly interaction, like Din talking to the droid airport security, TSA agent. You're fired. Like that could have been silly and ridiculous and kind of dumb. It very easily could have gone that way. But instead, you felt how hard it was for Din to separate himself from the weapons. Almost kind of embarrassing for him. And then like, me and Ray are like screaming at the TV as he's taking out the Darksaber to put it in the container, like, don't separate yourself from that. Like, we're yelling at the TV, don't do it. Because we all knew when it gets to Tatooine and opens up the thing, it's going to be gone. But it wasn't. So they kind of fooled us. So she kind of fooled us that way, right? Again, that scene, as it was written, could have come across as really silly. But instead, it came across as exciting. And like, just opening a case and closing the case, suddenly there was tension and all that kind of stuff. And I thought it was great. But let me address a couple of things that I've been hearing a lot of people online saying. Okay. A number of people online saying, how ridiculous is it that we had a Book of Boba Fett episode without Boba Fett? Fair enough. But I do want to remind people that it might have been the 3rd episode of WandaVision, 3rd or 4th, that didn't have Wanda or Vision in it. It all focused on the other side characters as they arrive to the town. It starts with them standing outside town and them discovering and doing the investigation. I mean, you did see Wanda and Vision in it, but only from clip flashbacks from the previous episodes.
It built the world.
Yeah, they built the world, right? So, and that was perfectly fine. So I had no issue. This is still the Book of Boba Fett, but Boba Fett's not the only character in it. And this was kind of a cutaway because once the Mandalorian shows up, we need to know, why is he there? How did he get here? And what was his set of circumstances that drives him to this moment? And what's his motivation? This episode sets up all of that. So now when we do see Boba Fett and Din together again, that's all been established and that's all been laid out. By the way, guys, the questions have been flying in like crazy. So I'm just going to only leave the super chat feature open for another minute. Then I'm going to close it off because it's been flooded. Anyway, so they did that. Also, some people saying, well, it says something about Boba Fett that the best episode isn't really about him. Well, yeah, but if you go back to The Mandalorian Season 2, I would argue that the two best episodes of Mandalorian Season 2, the main star wasn't Mandalorian. The main star was Boba Fett in the one episode, and the main star was Luke Skywalker. That's the one everybody talked about. Nobody talks about Din in the final episode of Mandalorian Season 2. And in that episode where Boba Fett shows up and starts wrecking fools, nobody talks about Din in that. They talk about that. So, yeah, this is a little bit more extreme, but I think the principle is still there, and I think the principle is still sound. So I'm okay with that.
Well, it's also called The Book of Boba Fett.
Yes,
In a book,
of Boba Fett.
Sometimes in a chapter you focus on someone
Other
who's not
characters.
your hero.
Yeah, so I was fine with that. I honestly was okay with that, the way they handled that. It was fine. This is still a chapter in this show, and it does go to the... Although, yes, it does feel like Mandalorian Season 2.5.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. But having to battle again for the Darksaber, meeting the Armorer again, coming across her because she's one of the most badass characters in the show. That was great. Him being told, you're no longer a Mandalorian. You're like, and you could feel how that stabbed him in the heart, hearing that. But we also now get his mission, his quest. We all knew that in Mandalorian Season 3, he was going to go back to Mandalore. Now we know why he's got to go back to Mandalore, because he's got to get back his Mandalorian-ness. If he's got to go to the caves and bathe in the waters in the deep caves of Mandalore, he's got to figure out a way to do that. We want to take a minute and thank the sponsors of this video, Liquid IV. Now listen, just one stick of Liquid IV added to 16 ounces of water will hydrate you faster and more efficiently than just water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and of course vitamin C, with 3 times the electrolytes as traditional sports drinks. And what makes Liquid IV so effective is the science of cellular transport technology, or CTT. You see, it's designed to enhance rapid absorption of water and other key ingredients into your bloodstream faster and more efficiently. It tastes great, and it's a great thing to take when you feel run down, you need your daily hydration boost, or even a little bit of hangover recovery. You know, Ann and I get up pretty early in the morning to go to the gym because we can't go to the gym at any other time during the day. And for the last couple of weeks, I have been drinking 1 full glass of water with Liquid IV, and all I can tell you is you can feel the difference during the workout. So go and grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code CAMPEA at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use the promo code CAMPEA, that's CAMPEA, at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today when you go to liquidiv.com, and remember, use the promo code at checkout, CAMPEA. I mean, so in all things and in all ways, and I really thought, I hate the prequels, so when they brought out the Nubian fighter from Naboo, I'm like, really? He's going to fly that? Then he starts flying around, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty badass.
It's a slick ship.
Yeah. And then Mr. Kim shows up as the X-Wing fighter pilot again. I'm like, yeah.
I screamed Appa.
Oh, yeah, Appa's back. I mean, it's just, and you could tell he knew who it was in that ship. He knew who it was. He knew the score. He knew what was going on and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, they meet at the end, and then he, of course, gives the line, I have a little friend I have to visit first. It's like, so, okay. So now people say, we're not going to get Grogu again. I say, don't worry, he'll be back in Mandalorian Season 3. We don't even have to wait till Mandalorian Season 3 to see Grogu again. I'm assuming it's going to be him. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe his little friend is a Jawa he did business with previously. But for all we know, it's probably going to be Grogu. So listen, for me, this was awesome. I loved this episode. I thought it was great, and it makes me truly adrenaline pumping excited for Mandalorian, for Book of Boba Fett episode 6. I haven't been this excited for the next episode of Book of Boba Fett since then. I want to see Boba Fett and Mandalorian get together again. Their chemistry together in Mandalorian Season 2 was great. I want to see them rocking together again. I want to see them walk into a bar filled with, what's the name of the gang? Their bike gang again?
Oh,
Vespa.
the Vespa crew?
Not the Vespa, not the Vespa
Their actual name
but the
is.
actual guys they're getting ready to fight against.
Oh, I
the
forgot.
Pikes? Is that what it's called? The Pikes?
The Pikes.
I think it's the Pikes. At any rate, I want to see a scene where they walk into a bar, kind of like what Boba Fett did in an earlier episode, but I want it to be a big bar, and there's like 50 Pikes in there, and it's just Din and Boba and Ming-Na Wen standing there, and I'm going to be like, you fuckers are screwed. You guys are so screwed. I'm going to be like Dr. Banner in Infinity War. You guys are screwed now. I mean, I haven't been this excited since episode 1. I'm super stoked for it.
And he still has BK too. Mando and BK.
Yep.
Ooh.
And there's look, I just thought it was great. I loved it. And yeah, Ray, you were sitting there with me watching this thing last night.
Oh yeah. Top Gun 2?
What's that?
Was it Top Gun 2 we were watching?
Yes, that's what was it. We were watching our
the
screen.
Maverick Orient. I don't know. But you know what? I think they were trying to kill two birds with one stone, I guess you could say. Setting up season 3, obviously.
Yep. Yeah.
But
for
also,
sure.
if Mando just appeared in Boba, like people are gonna wonder where did he come from? You know? So they told that part of it. Yeah, Boba wasn't in it, but you know what? I think it'll be helpful for the rest of the
I agree.
series.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for the last thing, whatever they're gonna do, because it's gonna involve BK, Mando, whatever muscle. That's enough for me, but they're probably gonna get other muscle, and it's gonna be all out war. I just can't wait to see what they do with it.
Yeah, because add Black Chrysanthemum walking in beside them too.
Yeah,
That's
it's gonna be like a mini Endgame sort of war, I think, where we see each character profiled in like the specific thing that they do.
We said it yesterday. It's gonna be an Avenger Endgame's on your left portals moment. It'll be Boba walking in. You're not enough. Mando walks in, still not enough.
But Boba will still do this
Wen comes
in the middle of the war.
Yes, fighting like this.
But guys will be flying out.
And he'll just say, I am Boba Fett.
I am
and it
Boba
makes
Fett.
everybody stop
And everyone
quit.
around them just falls over and dies. Like dominoes.
Chris, you had a chance to watch this episode last night. What did you think about it? How did it hit you?
I loved it. First of all, everyone needs to know that I am basically geriatric. I go to bed at like 9 p.m. And so I set an alarm to wake up to watch Boba Fett because I do like it. I like it a lot. I know it's been slow for some people, but I enjoy it. But man, this episode was just like off to the races. It was so good. We had Amy Sedaris in there, who I absolutely love. We got a BD droid, which was
from the
so
game.
great
Yes,
after
which
just
the thing-
talking about Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
So that was great to see in there too. I loved all of this. And I'm so excited about and I know I'm going to talk about The Mandalorian for a second. I'm so excited about the kind of emotional, spiritual journey that Din gets to go on now, because he has been around other Mandalorians who don't subscribe to all of these belief
Right,
systems,
yes.
right? So this journey is going to be more of that of, well, they take their helmets off and I have a son basically who I need to go pick up from preschool. He's been there for years. Like, I'm so excited to see how this all pans out. And like you were saying, John, when we have that trio together, you know, when we've got Ming-Na, when we've got Boba Fett, when we've got Din, their fight scenes and chemistry is so fun. I'm so pumped to see that. And also, can we just give a shout out to the voiceover work and the body double work that goes into playing Din? Like all of those exertion noises and everything that he's doing,
Oh,
Pedro
yeah.
Pascal
I
just
noticed
really
that too.
brings it in this nuanced, beautiful way.
Pow, bang.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And then his body doubles, I think it's Brendan Wayne and something Crowder, excuse me, I can't remember his first name. But the work they all do together as this kind of trio, bringing that character to life, is just so phenomenal.
And that armor
Man.
looks sweet.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's
so
good to
good.
see it. It's all slimmed down. It kind of looks like the new Batman suit, you know, the slimmed down version. It looked like he looked more mobile. That's what I like about the armor. It's like just constantly getting upgraded. Just little things here and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It looks sweet. I mean, I was like, wow, is that a mirror finish?
Exactly.
on it?
But as
Oh,
soon as
and-
he steps in, like I just remember our buddy Ryan was watching with us.
Right.
As soon as he appears behind the plastic stuff, and you just see the silhouette, and then Ryan goes, "There's the spear, the Beskar spear
Yep.
is there." And what did she make? What did she make?
It was a little heartbreaking to see that, where it was like,
Yeah,
no,
me
she's not
too.
there. It's so
I
cool.
can't wait to see Grogu.
Oh,
He's going to be
I'm so excited.
flooded in the toy aisles.
Yeah.
Once again.
Once
Everything.
Again. Yeah.
And John, I know prequels aren't your thing, but going through that pod racing route too was so cool.
Hey, listen, even I have to say, when we were watching it, I was like, because listen, I do not like the prequels, but I always find things that I appreciate in movies I don't like, and I love the Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan fight. I love that fight,
So good.
but I love the pod race. I love the pod race.
Okay, so that scene
the
was just
mixture
great for
of
you.
visuals and music and sound design. I'll go on a record. The pod race in The Phantom Menace is the greatest sound design sequence in
Yep.
any film in cinematic history. The sound design of that entire race is incredible. Just put that scene on and just close your eyes and just listen to the scene happen. It's amazing. And when he started going through it, I'm like, well, number one, he's way too fast. He'd never be able to take those turns.
Yeah,
like that.
he's cheating at this point.
He's cheating. Yeah,
he could pretty much
using
run
cheat
by
codes.
Star Destroyer.
Yeah, he's
Bye.
like up, down, left, right, like doing that. Yes.
You know, people are also pointing out. Did you notice the Halo ring?
yes. Didn't we
And
say
I was
that?
like, what?
Didn't we say that when the show was on? It's like, okay, so now it's a crossover with Halo.
Yes, let's do it.
So that was all there. I mean, look, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. Anyway, guys,
Darksaber. We didn't bring up the Darksaber.
we mentioned a little bit.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
The Darksaber being they had to fight for it again and all that
Dude,
kind of
when
stuff.
he gets control of that thing, how she was
Once he
teaching
figures
him,
how to use it.
oh my God, people are gonna get wrecked for sure.
It's
He already wrecked people with it, not knowing how to use it.
Yeah.
Cutting fools in half. Oh my God, that was crazy.
Oh, that scene
right
was
off the bat.
so good.
Right off the bat, just laid out the dude and just cut him in half.
slice him right down.
They didn't even try to make a deal with him. He was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna kill you now."
No, he says, let's be reasonable. Let's discuss something. Okay, I can bring you in warm or I can bring you in cold.
Yeah, but at
Like,
that point,
yes.
when he had him on the table, he could have been begging for his life already, and he had
Too
But he
late.
didn't even ask him anymore. He just
Nope.
said, "Forget it."
No, you had your chance, man. You had your chance. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What did you think of the Book of Boba Fett episode 5, The Return of the Mandalorian? Did you like it? Did it get you reinvigorated? Maybe it didn't work for you as much as it did for us. Whatever you guys are thinking about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.